Chapter 3. Liquid Death. When Bertie had delivered his message and was on his way back to the bank, he saw that Beryl Foster was at her old spot again. He stopped and spoke to her. She smiled brightly at him, then picked out the choicest bouquet on her board, and, in spite of Bertie's protest, pinned it on his jacket lapel. "I'm very much obliged to you, Miss Beryl," he said laughingly, "but I don't think you can afford to give away your flowers." "I can afford to give you one for your kindness and bravery," she replied. "I shall keep it till it goes to pieces in remembrance of you," he answered gallantly. "I suppose the policeman didn't arrest that chap I had that mix-up with, did he?" "No, he let him go." "His name is Oliver Bounce. He's a messenger for a big broker named Green. I don't think he'll bother you again. If he does, just let me know." "And get you into more trouble on my account? Oh, no, I wouldn't want to do that." "But I won't have him impose on you," said Bertie earnestly. "Do you live in the city?"
"No, I live at Hoboken. Mama and I and Brother Will."
"Do you sell all your flowers every day?"
"Yes. I didn't at first, but I have many regular customers now."
"I'm glad you're doing well, but I must get back to the office or my boss will think I'm getting lazy."
"Are you working for a broker, too?"
"I'm employed in a private bank, but we deal in stocks also, though Mr. Morse is not a member of the exchange." Then Bertie bade her good-bye and went on to the office. Howard Morse's establishment was on the ground floor, and as the boy was going in he came face to face with Oliver Bounce, who was coming out. Oliver scowled darkly at him.
"I'll get square with you,"
he hissed malevolently as he passed on. "I don't think you will," breathed Bertie as he entered the bank. He had hardly taken his seat in his comfortable chair in the small reception room adjoining Mr. Morse's private room before his employer called him and sent him out again, this time to the Mills Building. The man he was in search of had an office on the 10th floor, and Bertie soon located the place. "Mr. Boyles is engaged," said the clerk who came to ask him his business. "You'll have to wait a little while." So Bertie took a seat near a window close to the gentleman's private office. Pretty soon Mr. Boyles came to the door with his visitor. "Well," he was saying, "you must buy all the M&C you can get a hold of, and you'll make a big stake inside of 15 days. Mark my words." Then he dismissed his caller and re-entered his sanctum without noticing Bertie. The boy waited a moment, then knocked at the door, and was told to enter. He delivered his message, found there was no answer, and left.
"Mr. Boyles is one of the directors of the M&C Traction Company," he said to himself as he walked slowly toward the elevator. "Evidently there's going to be a boom in the stock. This is the first tip I ever ran across, and if I only had a stake I'd go the whole limit on M&C. It's too bad I haven't the coin when I've been so fortunate to get on to a pointer that it's worth taking a risk on." It was too bad, for tips are not easily picked up in Wall Street. By the merest accident Bertie got a hold of his, but it was of no use to him unless he had some money to take advantage of the advanced information. Unfortunately for the boy, his whole personal capital was $10 on deposit in a savings bank. "Well, I'm out of it, that's clear enough," he muttered disconsolately. "I'll make Mr. Morse a present of the tip, and if he makes something out of it, maybe he'll remember me. I don't see that I can do any better." He hustled back to the bank. It was now a little after 2 o'clock, and he got off at 3. A bearded, ill-dressed man preceded him at the street door. He carried a plain hand satchel carefully in one hand, and as Bertie pushed by him, the man quickly transferred it to his other hand and glared ferociously at the boy. He followed Bertie into the reception room and stood in the middle of the floor, looking about in a wild kind of manner. "I want to see Mr. Morse, the banker," he said fiercely to the boy. "What's your business?" asked Bertie, regarding the strange visitor doubtfully. "I want $1 million, and I want it quick," cried the man with fire in his eyes. "This man's crazy," thought the boy, wondering how he could get rid of him. "Did you hear what I said?" roared the caller savagely. "I heard you," replied Bertie. "You'll have to call again, as Mr. Morse has gone home." The man's violent language had attracted attention all through the bank. "I can't call again. Let somebody here bring me the money at once, or I'll blow the bank and everybody in it to smithereens." Bertie thought things looked pretty serious, for from the way the visitor raised his satchel he was afraid its contents were dangerous.
Just then Mr. Morse appeared at the door of his office.
"Ha!"
cried the crank, striding up to him.
"You're Morse the banker. I want $1 million from you today. Do you understand? I am the Secretary of the Treasury, and I need the money right away. Give it to me in gold, all in gold, do you hear? Or we'll all go up in a balloon together, and this is what will send us up. I have a can of nitroglycerin in this bag. Refuse to give me the gold, and I'll dash it against the wall."
He raised the bag menacingly, and Mr. Morse turned as white as a sheet. The cashier, who had come to the other door, nearly fainted. Every employee in the office heard the crazy man's words, and there wasn't one who didn't feel decidedly nervous, while the half-dozen people in line at the receiving teller's window made a sudden break for the street door.
You don't mean to give me the money, eh?"
howled the lunatic.
"Then you'll all die this instant."
He made a motion to dash the satchel against the wall, when Bertie, who had retained his presence of mind through the trying ordeal, jumped forward and caught it just as it left his hand, staggering back and almost falling from the shock.
"Give me my bag!"
cried the crazy visitor, pouncing on Bertie.
"How dare you take it? Give it to me!"
He grabbed the boy by the throat with one hand and reached for the bag which Bertie held behind his back. It would certainly have gone hard with the lad but for the banker, who ran out into the room, seized a chair, and struck the infuriated crank on the head with it. The fellow staggered, fell, and then rolled over on the carpet insensible.
"Send for an officer!"
cried Mr. Morse to his cashier, who was leaning against the door of the counting room, as limp as a rag. The cashier tottered to the phone, shaking like a leaf.
"Bring that bag into my office, Bertie," said the banker.
The boy laid it carefully on his desk and stood by, waiting further orders. Through the plate-glass window he could see a rapidly increasing crowd gathering on the sidewalk. Evidently there was excitement to burn in the air. Mr. Morse handled the satchel gingerly. The contents of the bag might be all fake, and then again, it mightn't. At any rate, the matter was too serious to take chances with. The satchel was not locked, merely secured at the ends by the customary catches, and the center by the spring. The banker paused as he was about to open the bag, as if on second thought he feared the whole thing might be some sort of infernal machine, arranged to explode if opened the usual way. Bertie had some such thought too.
"Better cut it open at the side,"
he suggested, bringing out his sharp clasp knife and offering it to his employer. Mr. Morse took the knife, and after carefully feeling the satchel, he made a slit in the leather and then ripped the stuff up. After that he operated on the bottom of the bag and upon the other side. Throwing up the flap, the interior of the satchel was fully exposed. The lunatic had not lied. A large can of nitroglycerin was in the ruined bag. End of chapter 3.